Now, have you ever been in a situation where, for example, you go for an interview and you are asked about a particular term or a concept and you are not exactly able to explain it, and maybe the interviewer goes ahead to explain the concept to you, and voila, light bulb, you literally use this technology every day, you know what it does and how it is used. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about what self-taught developers do not tell you. So you want to get some tea and some chocolates or whatever and listen to this right now, because you won't hear this information anywhere else. Now, I'm doing this video because a lot of people, start learning how to code, start teaching themselves how to code, but eventually they probably either get discouraged or just give up because they do not anticipate some of the things that they come across. And so these are the things that we are going to be talking about in this video. If you're new to my channel, you're welcome. You are going to get everything faith, lifestyle, and tech on this channel. So I encourage you to subscribe. If you're returning to this channel, thank you for coming back to my channel, and I encourage you to leave a comment about whatever you learned or anything and like this video. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is access to relevant resources. Now, for people who take the school route, they are very likely to come to, have access to relevant resources through their professors, through maybe their fellow boot campers, people that they went to school with. They basically have these resources as educational content to build their curriculum, and so they have like a structured path that they follow. This is not the case for self-taught developers, as they have to figure out things by themselves for the most part. So they have to skim through a lot of resources and wing things through. Sometimes they miss out bits and pieces here and there. Sometimes they learn things that are not necessarily relevant for what they are trying to, like the language they are learning and whatnot. So what my advice is to you as a self-taught developer is to, as much as possible, reach out to a mentor, a senior developer, someone. Don't walk this path alone. Reach out to someone that can give you guidance on the resources that you need. It's very important. The second thing is more difficulty in getting unstuck. Now, anybody that has either started coding, no matter how new to this you are, you know that it can be very frustrating when you get stuck with problems, whether complex or simple problems. For people that take the school route or the bootcamp route, they easily can reach out to their professors or their peers, or whoever. They can basically reach out to people at the snap of their fingers and get help almost immediately. For the self-taught routers, is a bit different because you don't easily get help that soon enough. You are at the mercy of forums and different platforms online to ask for help. For example, Stack Overflow and a whole lot of other forums. GitHub for open source projects where you ask questions. But for the most part, you don't get the help that you need like immediately. You don't get help immediately. Even if you have a mentor, right? There's a very high chance that your mentor is also busy with other things and other commitments. So you might not get that help exactly when you need it. So in this kind of case, you might need, to get a mentor that is really available to you. Maybe get a second mentor. Get someone that you are sure they are able to help you, they're able to pull you out of whatever issue you're facing. Secondly, even if you're going through a problem and you're not able to solve it and you've tried, you can put it aside, leave it for a later time. When you have time to talk to your mentor, you can present such problems to them. The third thing I'm going to be talking about is motivation. Now, there are lots of people that are self-motivated, right? They can commit to one thing and get it done. They're like, they decide they want to study for 5 hours, 30 hours in a week, and they follow through. Literally, there are people that are that good. I admire their grades and their motivation, their commitment to see things work. Now, not all of us are like that, and it's important to know where you stand. Um, if you are, you might try to make that kind of commitment, and you find yourself watching like funny videos when you intend to study. You were planning to go to Udemy, and for some reason your hand stumbled to YouTube and some funny videos in YouTube. For those of you that do this know what I'm talking about. So if you find yourself in such situations, I think that it makes sense for you to take a more structured learning approach where you aren't just coding at your own pace or following your own path to learn, but you actually have either some form of online school that you're learning from, or something that basically keeps you in check and keeps you accountable as well, and helps you to manage your time better. So the fourth thing I'll be talking about is knowledge of formal names or technical names. Now, have you ever been in a situation where, for example, you go for an interview and you are asked about a particular term or a concept, and you are not exactly able to explain it, and maybe the interviewer goes ahead to explain the concept to you, and voila, light bulb, you literally use this technology every day. You know what it does and how it is used. These are some of the things that you might encounter when you are self-taught, because you probably did not take the school route where you had to read a lot of books or do some specific structured learning. You might not exactly know the formal name for a lot of concepts. But one good way to fix this is to read technical books, read articles, and basically just get yourself up to date with the formal names, or learn about the formal names for some of these concepts. Really, what matters is that you can use it. I don't think it really matters whether you know the name or not, but it's just it's just a plus if you're able to know what the names of these concepts are, besides just being able to use it. The fifth but not the last thing is loneliness. Now, the fact is that self-learning anything can be lonely. It's even worse when you're coming from a totally different background. For example, you're trying to learn how to code and you learned medicine in school, right? Or you studied something totally unrelated like accounting. It's really hard for you to kind of blend in on and to start. It can be draining and it can be demotivating. Initially, there's there's this adrenaline rush when you start coding and you're able to run hello world. You're able to add some styles, add some colors here and there, and everything comes to light. At that point, you feel like you can even solve the problem of poverty or hunger in the world at the rates at which you're going. But eventually you begin to see some things that you've probably not encountered before, some complex problems, some bugs creeping in, and sometimes it can be overwhelming, especially when you feel like you have a lot to learn. There's also the part of you being introverted, right? If you're doing this on your own, if you're not with any other person and you're trying to learn on your own, it can really be lonely and it can be demotivating. So what my advice to you is that you join a community. Join a community. That's one of the best things you can do for yourself. Use the internet. Find out other people that are doing stuff like you're doing, other people that are building stuff as you are. Follow people on Twitter. There are lots of people there, like so many people that have built amazing stuff and are very active on Twitter. So follow them, get a sense of what they do, get a sense of how they came about building what they've built. You can listen to podcasts as well. I do that a lot, and yeah, it has really helped me beyond just keeping updated to tech trends. It also gives me a sense of, would I say belonging is the word now, but really, like, as much as possible, use the internet, join platforms. If you're not a social media person, there are so many other platforms online that you can join and be a part of, the conversations that go on there. So yes, make sure that you join the community, especially when you're taking the self-taught route. And these are the 5 things that I hope that I have for you today. I hope you learned something from it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.